What's up, everybody? My name is Shannon, and I am still waiting for my Satyr, and today we are talking about the fourth book in the Trials of Apollo series, The Tyrant's Tomb by Rick Riordan. So I absolutely loved the previous book in this series, The Burning Maze. I was very emotional at the end of it. I cried, and I was really excited going into The Tyrant's Tomb, because what's kind of happened is that these books were coming out in tandem with the Magnus Chase series, and I think more attention was being given to Magnus Chase, because those books were a little bit better, but once those ended, it really allowed the Trials of Apollo to flourish, and the Tyrant's Tomb was really, really amazing, and I am more excited for this series than I have ever been. So we left off with The Burning Maze with the death of Jason Grace. This weighs extremely heavily on Apollo because Jason has pretty much charged Apollo with remembering people who help him, remembering heroes, remembering minor gods, trying to become a better person. And I will never forget the final line of The Burning Maze, which was, "I am Apollo and I would remember." And I know that some people have issues with Jason Grace dying, but overall, what it does for Apollo's character and where it takes him in this book is really meaningful. This book opens up with him and Meg transporting Jason's body back to Camp Jupiter for a funeral, but they are also going to Camp Jupiter because they need some help with the last few lines of the Dark Prophecy, and there's this huge battle on the horizon. We have Caligula and Commodus on their way there, pretty much ready to destroy New Rome. And of course, that can never be all. We also have a crazy undead king who is unleashing all of these ghouls. Apollo is kind of tainted by one of them. He might be turning into a zombie. Bad things are kind of happening here with Apollo and Meg. But what I loved about the story is that once again, we are really continuing on and seeing Apollo right his wrongs and come back from the god that he was and really turning into this new person who really knows like what he is and what he's all about. His powers are slowly starting to return, and he truly is now caring for the people who's helping him. He sees Meg as his family. He stands up and fights, and this is a totally different Apollo from who we saw in the Percy Jackson series, and definitely from who we saw in the first book of this series. There are more cameos in this book. As the Trials of Apollo have been going on, we've kind of been meeting up with people from Percy Jackson or people from Heroes of Olympus, and I do really like that. Raina and Frank play huge roles in this book, and I love where their stories are taken. We get so much more with Frank. I was a little bit worried about him, but I do really like the direction that his story went. And then with Raina, she is a character that I feel like Rick Riordan has wanted to do something with her for a really long time, and there's so much potential there. And finally, we got to see it in this book. And it's very, very meaningful, especially to me. And this is going to get a little bit spoilery, but Raina's story for so long has kind of revolved around her looking for a partner. Venus tells her that she's never going to find somebody to mend her broken heart. And I think in the fandom, this is definitely pointing fingers at the fandom, but even in the books, she says that people have been shipping her with everyone, trying to find her somebody, him, her, anyone. And it isn't until she's with Apollo that she realizes that she just doesn't want any of that. She wants to be free of that. And when she finally lets it go, she's finally allowed to truly be herself. And what herself is she just wants to take a step back. She just wants to be with her dogs. She wants to fight with the hunters. She wants to go and make friends and discover herself and figure out who she is. And I think that's absolutely beautiful. This is finally Rick Riordan exploring asexuality. Obviously, he can't get into too much of the sexual stuff because these are middle grades, but at least aromanticism. And it's beautiful. And I'm so glad that we're getting this, and I am very excited for the next book in the series. We're going all the way down into Meg's tragic past. We are going to see Apollo finally confronting the wrongs that he has done. Like, he has already come so far with dealing with all of the mistakes of his past, but he still has a few more hurdles to go before he can truly become Apollo again, and I am just so excited to see it. I am in love with this series. Like, honestly, everything that Rick Riordan writes just makes me cry and makes me happy and fills me with so much joy. So I'm very excited to see where we're going next. This is getting an A+ from me, and if you haven't been reading The Trials of Apollo, I really, really recommend checking them out. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to hit that like button down below, and don't forget to subscribe so you can talk books with me every week. That is everything got for you today, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!